Michael Stets with MMA Diehards. I'm catching up here with Ronda Rousey outside the Hilton Hotel here in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. Maybe change your nickname to Rockstar with all this media attention. Talk about the world when you've been at NASDAQ last week. Now you're over here signing autographs for everybody. You were just over at the Izod Center. How's it been?
Well, I think you put it very succinctly. Whirlwind is a very good way to put it. I've been kind of city hopping for most of this month. I've been home for probably like 4 or 5 days out of all of May. Are we in May?
Tiring?
No, I'm just kind of losing reference on where I am in time and space. I don't know what day it is, I don't know what month it is, and I don't know where I am.
Well, you're a West Coast girl, so how are you enjoying the East Coast?
Well, actually, the weather's pretty cool today. I like visiting the East Coast. I just wouldn't want to live there. I just want to be able to stick my arms out and like swing in a circle at any point, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I look claustrophobic in New York.
And now, hasn't been announced yet, but you think it's going to be Sarah Kaufman?
That's my hypothesis, but I don't really believe it until I sign it.
So what have you been doing? Have you taken a lot of time off from training with all this media stuff, or have you still been able to train?
No, I definitely have been training. I've just been doing, different training. This is the best part about after a fight is when you get to take time to do all like the technical things and different stuff. It's not just grinding it out to get into good shape. It's like kind of tuning up your game and changing your style and trying to get into your thing, which I think is the funnest part of any kind of training camp is right after a fight when you get to start playing with new things.
And we spoke with Dana White yesterday, several reporters, including myself, talking about women's MMA, maybe coming into the UFC. Ooh, attack of the door. And we asked him about women's MMA and about coming to the UFC. And he compared you to Lucia Riker. Are you familiar with Lucia Riker?
Of course. Actually, her first manager was my manager.
And he compared her to you, saying that, he thinks that until there's someone that's able to compete on your level, he doesn't see it being feasible having you go against someone, based on you being able to dominate your opponents thus far in your MMA career. So what are your thoughts on that comparison?
Well, I think that, I understand why he would make it, but I don't think that women's MMA's future is, going to be like women's boxing. I think that there's a lot of Olympic level athletes that are coming in now, like with women's boxing, it's kind of hard to see anything, any improvements in sight coming, whereas women's MMA, we got, Sarah McCann and Randy Miller were both Olympic medalist wrestlers. I'm an Olympic medalist.
And an Olympian, right?
Yeah, and of course, Chris Cyborg comes back in an awesome match, and then
that's the fight I want to see.
Still no joke, and there is depth developing.
Yeah, like the Invicta card last weekend was all female card.
Exactly. So I think that Dana's assessment of the current state of women's MMA, is pretty accurate, but I don't think that it's permanent. I think that there is so many good things happening that I think within like a year or two, it's going to be like night and day. It's going to be like tennis, and have equal coverage and respect for the men and the women. And I think that you're going to see women in every single MMA promotion out there.
Well, Ronda, how do you stay humble? Being dominant in such a short amount of time, being an Olympian, bronze medalist in judo, and everyone has put you on a big pedestal. I'm sure you're aware, just with all the attention and the forums and the interviews. How are you personally able to stay humble and continue to train and be able to, know that there's someone that might match you one day?
I don't surround myself with a bunch of yes men, and I don't listen to my own press. When I go home, people aren't sitting around just trying to tell me what I want to hear. And it's only when I come to these trips like this that, I get to do all the fun stuff. It's like, hey, you're awesome. But, it's easy to compartmentalize that, okay, it's only like that when I'm in events or when I'm here, when I'm home. Nobody cares. So I still gotta take the trash out, change the cat litter or whatever, pick up my dog shit. It's not that different. So a lot of people disagree that I'm humble. I just say that I have an accurate self-assessment, which people call arrogance. I just think that I'm good. What do you want me to say? Lie to you and say I suck? I work really hard. I know I'm good. It's not being cocky or arrogant. It's just I know that the work I put in has produced results. What do you want me to say?
And how about being on Tough last week? You got to toss around some I'm sure happy UFC lightweights in the gym working with Team Cruz. How about that?
Yeah, it was really cool. They were really fun to work with, and they were really eager to learn. And it wasn't like they were treating me like some novelty that they brought in to make it an interesting episode. They really there was like genuine respect and willingness to learn in there. And I was very impressed with Dominic's team. And being in the house was pretty funny, and it really everyone.
I was gonna say, did they play that up?
They did not play it up. It was really
no
like
one was
that.
talking to you.
It was actually worse. It was actually worse.
Wow.
I think they just had to cut it down to like smaller. Like I thought that they were gonna really go into it.
They just couldn't handle your skill or your sexiness. Which one?
I think they just couldn't handle so many changes at once in the house because they had TV for the first time in months. Uriah and Dominic were in the room together the first time in a long time. And, it was the first roll around them in one. So I think it was just so much going on that a lot of them were like, oh my God, what are we doing? So that was funny.
So when do you think we'll see you return to the cage in Strikeforce? Do you have any time set? Or
I haven't signed anything. So I only half believe it when it's signed, and I only really believe it when they close the cage, So I'm thinking probably late summer, but you never know in this business.
And what's in store for the rest of the weekend with the Fox card? Just going to be taking in the fights, or are they going to have you on the telecast?
I don't know, I'm the guest fighter, so I think they're just going to show me they're freaking out because when people I care about fight, I freak out way more than it's me because I can't control anything. And,
I take it you're rooting heavily for Nate tomorrow night.
Of course I'm rooting heavily for Nate, and also I kind of wish I was home a little bit too because all my boys are fighting at home. And like the local guard, even my own coach is making his MMA debut, and I really want to be there, and I'm just going to be getting like constant updates about how the guys at home are doing, and I'm freaking out about how Nate is doing, so I'm actually, it really stresses me out to watch everybody, because I just wish I could jump in there and like hit them for them, I wanted to do something, and it gives you like the sense of helplessness that, sometimes is a little hard to deal with, but if the only thing I can do to help is scream, then I will scream my head off.
Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy all the success you've created for yourself, do your hard work. We very much appreciate a few minutes and very much look forward to you defending your belt very soon.
Thank you. It wasn't all me, though, but thank you.
Thank you very much, man.